We're back. Happy New Year. Live on location. All right. Trying to upgrade the stuff right here. With the table, with the mics and all that. All for Nick Ramos, our next guest. But Happy New Year, everybody. Excited for it. Before some of these college guys go back like Nicky, we'll try to get a couple more episodes together for all that. So obviously it's winter. Before we get to you, Nick, just trying to get into the DMs and some of the questions. And obviously just the vague generic one is like winter workouts, right? What are some of my goals? What am I trying to do individually, right? Obviously, as a team, us as coaches, we want our team to build, but it is individual time. We need our guys to get better, and so many kids ask how. Like, how are we going to go about that? And really, like, one of the biggest things, and my guys have heard me say it, is you want to continue to improve your strengths, right? So you have a certain strength as a hitter. Maybe you're a guy that really drives the ball opposite field really well. Make sure you don't just, like, forget about that. Like, continue to build on that. Be the best you can at that. But, hey, if something, running in a little two-seam in at an older level is getting you, let's really attack that off the machine. Let's tell our coach, hey, let's get some inside work in. You need, I stress it to our guys, you need to attack your weaknesses. Maturity, right? You're maturing a little bit. Instead of running away from a backhand when we're at our Coleman workouts, right? Our defensive workouts are great. Yeah. Tons of reps. We get, station work, all that. If you are not comfortable with that backhand, and if I said to you, JT, bases loaded 2 out, you're playing third base for you Albany at, trying to get to the Super Regionals, the only ball you don't want is something hard down the line. You better work on that right now.
Well, it's the first thing I'm doing on Christmas break.
Yeah, exactly right. So, it's been cool to have our college guys back around. A lot of them, Labita and all these guys they're coming to get their work in. It's awesome to see. Our kids kind of get wide-eyed because, hey, that's our goal, right? I want to be like him one day. I want to be like him one day.
That's a guy going through it right now, and he's been in the exact footsteps that you've been in, and he's been taking all those reps on Friday and Saturdays nights.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's good for him to come back.
And that's why Labita is so good, because he comes down to those Coleman workouts and he's showing you how a college infielder takes ground balls.
Yeah,
his work ethic is great. The way he moves his feet, his hands, everything.
And he comes with a plan.
Yep.
And that's like another part of where I was heading towards that, right? Like, it doesn't have to be, every plan isn't like, calculated perfectly, right? But again, you want to come in here with, all right, hey, today, like, I want to, if we're going heavy bat, let me see if I can stay balanced. If wherever we are, we started to slowly implement the Ghost training app and a little bit of a plyo circuit for some guys. Some guys have their own little thing going on that this is just addition to it. Some guys really have never done that before, 14, 15, 16 years old. And all it's going to help you do is, again, create a routine, build a structure for yourself, get yourself stronger. And when getting to routines, so many of my guys, you don't have to live and die by certain routines, right? Yeah. We were talking about it off air, like, you're going to have a 6'2 lefty that's 170 that's kind of, free and loose. Like a Gino Malone has a different body type, right, compared to, who did I use before? Seif, right? Yeah. A little bit more of a compact righty.
Little meathead.
Yeah, man. Like, so, they can start off with the same plan. They can log into the app. They can say, okay, day one program, this is what we're going to do. But then they got to monitor themselves. Maybe Seif goes through something and says, you know what, that didn't really get me loose. Maybe that plyo ball was a little too light. That plyo ball was a little bit too heavy. Something along those lines.
And I see a lot of kids, they come in here and practice, but they don't really do game-like stuff.
And mentally, too. Like, they're not focused as if it's a game.
And
Jimmy, you're good, dude. Do what you got to do. Don't worry about us.
They need to be hitting off the machine. They need to be taking darts instead of lazy front toss, 100%. Stuff like that. Yeah. Because everyone can hit front toss and stuff. You have to put yourself in more game-like situations.
And like you said, put in game-like situations, but the mental part of it, right? It's easy to just go in station to station or go in the cage and get your 2 rounds, 3 rounds of BP or how many swings you're taking that day. But I like to stress, the quality over quantity. Put yourself, slow the game down. Absolutely. Get in the box and put yourself in a situation. It is January, but get ahead of the game a little bit. Yeah. Get in here, pretend there's a man on second base, and what are you going to do when that situation comes up?
And that's the first thing a college coach can see is they can look at you doing a basic, boring drill.
Absolutely.
And see how, serious you're taking it.
It's what I say to my guys even tonight. Yep. One of the things I take a lot of pride in is I've had so many coaches college coaches I reconnect with. They move schools, whatever, and they're like, hey, one of the great things about you is when your guys come in, they're ready. Yep. And it's not necessarily physically ready to play. It's to understand the grind, right? We started to hand out to our pitchers, a post-outing report, right? And I love this. And, Jake Frey's a man for kind of putting it together for us, and we're going to implement it a little bit more, your squad. And all it does, first of all, you chart everything as a pitcher at Division I, Division II, Division III level, right? Catchers, you got to, and we'll get to this in a second too, you have to learn your pitchers. And it's a part of why I love our culture. because our pitchers and catchers are probably together 2, 3, 4 years. So we can get together and be like, hey, that's not working today. Let's either find it or let's go to this, right? Opposed to being a little bit like, oh, I don't really know this guy. He just came down from PA or something like along those lines, where just like, oh, good, I throw 87. But what if you don't have it that day? Like, you're just gonna lose that game. That's that. Like, that's not gonna help you at the next level. We're doing a better job, and I really believe in our process of that. A Marek Williams, Andrew Marino combo, I generally don't really have to call a pitch. And sometimes if I do, they'll both look at me like, no, this is what we're going to go with. And, most of the time they're right because they have a feel for it. Yeah, 100%. And man, that's super important moving forward. And that's where, as we build and we get our plyo circuits, we get our band works, and we start working off the mound, and you know this better than anybody, these catchers have to take that seriously. It isn't just physically, let me work on my receiving, let me read a block. It's also, all right, what does he do consistently? And, again, is he an arm side guy? Is he a glove side guy? Is he telling me that he has a curveball, but now it's starting to get a little bit sharper as he gets older. We can use more of a slider. So, what do we have to implement? Hey, last year, we got a lot of foul balls late in counts because we could not get that change up to, here a little bit more. It's just so much to work on. So
the best is when you see kids with pitchers and catchers going to the mound, going over one fastball, 2 slider. Yeah. Because they haven't worked together.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly right. So the moral of all this, guys, because I want to get to Nicky because he's got a lot of interesting stuff to go to, is when you come into your winter workout stuff, just have a plan. Ask questions, use your resources, what we said before, right? Fortunately, our guys have a ton of really good resources to reach out to, whether it's weight room stuff, whether it's all that kind of stuff. And hey, just like every facility, right? I will shoot out, Jimmy, we got a double A guy right now, just getting his work in late at night. He's an available guy. We have guys. He's the man. Wanto's finest, baby. But yeah, no, for real. Like we have our resources, right? So don't be afraid to ask questions, right? Make these kids, and I tell.
But asking questions is good. It means
that's my point.
Trying to learn the game more.
Out of sight, out of mind is a real thing. Yeah. If these kids are not on you about the college recruitment process, about what schools you've emailed, or just simply about, hey, what can I do in the weight room? That's why, again, that Ghost app is going to continue to build, and Mags does an unbelievable job.
Mags.
Yeah, dude. I mean, everything that partnership's growing there, and it's like. These kids I hear so often, I got a gym downstairs and I go down there and I do this, I do that. I'm like, but what is this and that?
I know.
When, all right, here, dude, just log in. Like, log in, click it, see what those movements are. So you're doing it properly. I love that you can watch each and every movement. So we have the resources for everybody, but, even if you are not a B1 guy, I'm sure your organization gives you some type of opportunity to do something on that. And, hey, if your organization does a once-a-week workout, like I know we have our Speed Island stuff because, Onyx is the best, and it's like, hey, don't just – that once a week is not enough. It's just not enough. I mean, as a college guy, like it's 4, 5, 6 days, and you got to learn those movements and see what works for you.
I just sent my 11U team in the Game Changer like a 5-minute workout they could be doing every day.
Just learn it. Learn your body a little bit.
Because if they did that workout every day from 11U to 14U, just think of the advantage they have when they get to high school.
Think about what other 11U kids are doing right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly. You got to get ahead at that point.
Build. So, hey, let's get to Nicky. I hope that for everyone that was asking certain questions about plans and all that for the winter workouts, obviously, hit us back with anything additional. But so Nicky Ramos, Coach Nicky Ramos, head coach Nicky Ramos.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. I can't believe I actually enjoy saying that. That's crazy. That's wild. Even WizKid was like, wait, head coach Nicky Ramos. Yeah, man.
What age group you got?
I got 14.
14.
There we go.
I'm still assisting 16.
Catchers. At the end of the day, I take a lot of pride thinking I'm a great coach. I know you're a great coach. I know you're a great up and coming coach. Catchers know how to coach. They see the game. Fortunately for you two, you grew up here. Coach Mike was gonna be super detailed. Playing for him for a little while.
Absolutely.
And then coaching with him a little bit. I mean, Joey Stu's another great guy for you to. So you're ready. You're ready to go. So that's awesome.
Did you do a game?
A lot. I missed bunt every time, throwing it to first. Pretty much gave it up to me.
Yeah.
Anytime I saw a kid get a little bit too far off, I was expected to throw, and if I didn't, I would get yelled at.
Yep. So being aggressive. So all right, now hey, we'll backtrack for you a little bit. You did have a little bit of that COVID situation, right? And it's funny, we were joking like we had the New Haven kids last week or the last episode that play in West Haven. You actually are a New Haven guy.
Yep.
Albertus Magnus is actually in New Haven.
Yep.
So you're right there. You understand that whole area, and there's a lot of great baseball there and all that. So you're going through your process early in your recruitment. How does that all work for you? How'd it go?
Right around my sophomore year, I started talking to schools, Adelphi, Malloy, a lot of the local schools.
Sure.
That was more so towards winter workouts and over that summer going into my junior year. And then COVID happened spring of my junior year. And then So all those schools that I was talking to pretty much said that they didn't have roster spots anymore because their seniors were coming back for their extra year, their COVID year. So Albertus was pretty much the last school to show me love and really.
And one of the cool things, and there's two parts to this one, right? So we joke, like, you're also a little bit of a late bloomer.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you're talking to some of the elite D2 schools in the area, you're a little bit of a late bloomer, just physically, right? Mm-hmm. Shedding some baby fat to better weight and all that stuff. But you always worked. You were always open-minded. I remember you making tons of adjustments, sometimes maybe too many. Mm-hmm. But that was awesome to see that all kind of come to fruition. So now we trend towards Albertus Magnus. What was one of the things, because it's something we haven't really talked about too much yet, what was maybe the key thing that made you want to go there?
It was honestly Coach Layton.
Yeah.
He pitched it very well. He taught me a lot while I was there. He told me a lot of good things about the program. I got to reach out to a few of the guys that were on the team already. I got to meet a few of them in person. So great group of guys. I felt comfortable going there, and Coach Layton really just made it feel like home.
Did you do an official visit there?
Official, unofficial. So unfortunately, their team was in COVID lockdown when I went up, so I was on FaceTime with Coach Layton while I was walking around campus. So
that's crazy.
He was showing me around through FaceTime.
Again, different times,
different,
right?
Yeah.
Different times, but we haven't had that yet. Everyone so far has had a great experience with their coach. I mean, I love my coach, the coaches I had more than anything. I know you guys still are in contact. It's cool to see, like, hey, you know what? That was the final piece of the puzzle for me to go to a school that maybe you didn't know much about beforehand. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't even know that much about it other than when I went to New Haven, it was there.
Yeah.
Didn't know what kind of level they were at, but then I got to know Coach Layton a little bit too through you, and I was like, wow, this is a real dude. Like, he's determined to bring that type of that higher level player there. Again, you were maybe a hair higher level than what they had been recruiting in the past, so that you were a big set for them, right? We're gonna get a little bit better. We got to catch it that can hit a bomb. We got to catch it that fits the quota as far as size goes. So really cool to see a program like that kind of be able to follow the coach's lead, right? So now we get there, or you get there, and let's fast forward, right? So what I want to fast forward to, and this is a part of your story, is you have a gruesome injury. Mm-hmm. Take us through, if we're okay, not too emotional about it. Take us through the injury, because I don't even know how much you guys really.
I don't know about
it.
Well, freshman year, I got hurt in the first game. Yep. My first start, I got hurt, partially tore my meniscus and my MCL, so pretty much missed the entire year. I was able to come back for like the last four or five games of the season, caught the playoff game, we lost, so season was over after that. Knee recovered, played my sophomore year, which was fine. Then my junior year this past season, third game of the year, fourth inning, play at the plate, had my leg extend a little too far. Kid slid into my heel, tore my hamstring 10 centimeters off my butt bone, had to get surgery. So that was a tough road to get through, but recovery was hell.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then that's not an injury you hear too often. That sucks. It doesn't sound. I'm tearing it like that.
Was it purple?
It was, There was my entire back of my leg from the bottom of my butt cheek down to the back of my knee was all black and blue.
Now, this is a part of where I want people to continue to hear us, right? Going to a school and the importance of going somewhere where you're wanted. There's a lot of schools, unfortunately, that are going to see that as a junior and say, hey, man, love you. If everything works out, like whatever, there's a lot of schools that are going to go recruit. They're going to hit that portal quick, bring in 2 big-time catchers, and you may never really get that love and get that same, affection that you had. But meanwhile, instead, you went to a school and a coach that cares, that loves you, that needs you in order for them to get to the successful level they want to get to. So now you're rehabbing with the idea of, I can't wait to get back with my squad. I can't wait to get back with Albertus Magnus. I can't wait to get back. You had said before, you missed the place by a game this year, right? I'm sure, how are we not feeling like, hey, I can help us get that next step? And you're more mature now. Like, it almost is like, in a weird way, they're getting a legit college transfer, a catcher that has this experience, that has had flashes of success. I've seen you hit a long ball. I've seen you have some fun there. So now all of a sudden we're healthy. Like, we're feeling good. You went through the rehab process. But, a lot of kids, they don't get that. You go through that rehab process and you never make it back to that particular school especially, right? So
and that's a big testament to our athletic training staff there. They're great. They always take care of us every day. Our new coach that came in last year, he pretty much like you said, he still let me do my rehabs, kept me around, always was checking on me, always really made sure that I was taking the proper steps to get better, because I wanted to be out there, they wanted me out there, so.
It's huge.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not. I mean, yeah, it's about baseball, but you're there for 4 years, man.
Yeah,
it's
5
about,
now.
You're an 18-year-old kid going into college, and you come out as a 22-year-old young
now
man.
you could use this as a positive, because you could get your masters out of it, maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you could. And now this is really cool too, right? We don't really get to the what life after baseball part of all this. And hey, listen, I'm not betting against you to go out there and absolutely go crazy and nuclear, and then have somebody say like, I want to pay this guy to play. But take us through what your next couple of months are going to look like.
So starting next week, I have a full-time student teaching starting up. So that's from 7:30 a.m. to 2 o'clock, then straight to practice after that, lifting after that, homework, eating whenever I can, and then waking up the next morning to do it again. So.
And this is where we're biased. We're athletes through and through. College athletes, whatever you want to get to, we're athletes through and through. To us, that's like, hey, you and me, what are we doing, JT? We're going to get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. We got families. We're going to go work. We're going to get here. We're going to take care of our players, make sure they're getting better. We're on top of all that. This is where you learn it. This is where you learn it. You learn it from this work ethic that you are putting together, going through this unbelievable rehab. And then all of a sudden walking into like the transition from I'm a college kid, I'm having fun, I'm going downtown New Haven, hanging out with, all this good stuff, playing baseball, a kid's game, right?
Yep.
You're rehabbing to do that, but then also not in the morning, you gotta be an adult, right? Even with a mustache, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Teaching in undergrad?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Wild, right? Wild. So
We're where? Where'd you say?
West Haven High School.
So it's
that's the only thing you're doing? You're not taking any other classes?
So there's 3 classes that go along with it. It's student teaching is 1 class, which is 9 credits, and then I have like a special education class and a performance assessment class. So.
Pretty cool.
By the way,
man.
don't forget he's in season. Don't worry how many credits he's taking. He's taking enough credits. NCAA, he's taking enough credits.
If
We're
you have
good.
a midweek game and then you got it at 2,
Well,
you're going to be running there.
I did get lucky with my cooperating teacher, because he's a basketball coach, so he really understands the athletic lifestyle. He was a college basketball player himself, so
that's huge.
He told me right away from the start, he said that he appreciates college athletics and he understands that it's a big part of our college life and college experience, so he doesn't want to take that away from me. So if I have to miss a day for a game or practice, traveling, something like that, then that's fine, as long as I make up the day.
Right, and that's what I was just about to say, though. It's not just a free day. You're going to play baseball with the responsibility when you come home. You might have the lesson plan at midnight on a bus ride home. So, again, this is why I was excited about Nikki, because it's just a little bit different. It's a little bit more like mature and everything like that.
And this is why a lot of employers hire student athletes.
That's exactly right,
You know how to do
JT.
time management.
Yep.
You know how to handle your business throughout the day and get things done.
They don't have to babysit you.
No, man, no, absolutely not. Honestly, you don't even need that much guy. Like you said, you'll eat whenever, guaranteed within 10 days you have a legit routine, because you are also there for your teammates, right? You're going to be a captain on the team, or I don't know if they're going to appoint that. I can't, I'm not your coach. But I'm sure the kid's going to look up to you for going through this rehab process, for being a veteran there that's had success already. So, like, you're going to, a lot of things are relying on you. But embrace that. Like, if that's pressure to you, if that's too much for you, then maybe this whole thing wasn't for you. You wouldn't be put in that position to do all that.
I love it.
And don't forget, you're gonna have some of your 14U guys hitting you up and giving you updates, and I'm sure some of your 16U guys that you're still coaching, they're gonna be all over that kind of stuff.
And I love that, especially, and I think coaching has really helped me as a player, just seeing the game through a different lens and really taking that step back and being able to portray my knowledge that I learned from you guys and just playing baseball throughout my entire life. Now putting that knowledge to use for the younger kids, it's awesome seeing it from a different perspective.
I like that.
And then the other perspective too, that just is kind of just thinking out loud, right, is now you also kind of see, while you're on the field of practice, while you're in the gym with a team lift, what that coach is seeing too. Because when we're in here, there's always a few minutes like, yo, guys, get it together. And now you can almost be like that guy that's like, yo, we're about to walk that fine line.
Exactly.
Coach can be like, yo, it's time to reset. So now, you can almost hold yourself accountable as a leader and say, yo, I can blend this. I could be one of the boys and celebrate a win and go party and do this and that. You're 21 now, so we could say go have an adult beverage. But yeah, man, it's really cool. This is a different type of story, because again, the recruiting process, it was fairly simple compared to what everybody went through with COVID, right? Had a couple opportunities, fell through, rosters expanded because people came back. Again, had a great coach that saw everything that everybody saw in you, said, wow, probably have a little bit of a D2 guy to steal down to a good D3 program that we're trying to build up. And here we are. Now we're talking about balancing out being an adult student teacher. It's super cool.
cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
When did you commit to the school?
It was early to mid-March of 2021, so my senior year.
Gotcha.
Senior year, but as your senior year season was beginning.
Yes.
Pretty much. You were
After,
probably
after COVID. So that was probably
decently
the norm.
late into the game.
right. And
Late bloomer.
but you know what? Again, this is a part of this podcast.
Yeah.
Is everyone? What do we keep saying? Breathe.
Gotta
Take
do
a
it
deep
now.
breath.
Gotta do it now.
Everybody. I had a text
Were
earlier.
you ever worried?
Not really, because I mean, I had Evan and Mike.
Yeah.
They were reaching out to schools. They were showing me spreadsheets with different schools and coaches and all their information. So I truly believe that everything happens
Because you
for a
built
reason.
a relationship with Evan and Mike, and you trusted them.
Yeah. So,
And you were good guys. That's great. I'm awesome. Mike's great, but he was good. Like he's a big body catcher that can swing the shit out of it. Like that's awesome. I appreciate the love, but that's what we do. That's our job. I mean, we work hard. We create
And that's a great point, because
relationships.
the people that are worried, their self-confidence might not be that great.
That's what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at. They're just relying. They were relying on us to spoon feed them certain things. People have done that before, but it's tough, right? There's reality checks.
We were never worried for 1 second
No.
if we play college.
No, it was just where. It was where.
There was
Never
not
win.
even talk about it.
No.
You just knew the scholarship was coming.
Exactly right. And again, we are in different times, and it's a little bit tougher. But yeah, we have Jake Frere, Division I pitcher, committing the day before graduation. We have another guy with a little bit of a COVID issue, but again, starting his senior year. And right now, we have 25 still signing, and they're good ones. There's really good ones. I was just saying, I had a text earlier tonight from a school, and they said, we just lost a 2025 arm due to injury. Do you have any that? And I'm like, we actually do have one that might fit that program pretty good. And it's like that kid's he's not panicking right now. I mean, maybe behind closed doors he is. I can't speak for him.
And
but
a lot of the college coaches are telling me they're not even looking at 27s yet.
no, they're not.
No.
They're not. And you're going to hear that they are because first impressions, they'll write names down. I've had, some of these Division I schools, Division II, Division IIIs, they don't even know 2027 is not a thing right now. For D1 schools, they might be writing it down on their whiteboard just so they're
prepared.
they're prepared
In
for
a year
it.
or two, they can go back to it.
But even honestly, dude, even 26s right now, even some, I've talked to a ton of schools for some of our guys, and they're gonna go out and try to sprinkle in seeing them early spring for their school teams. But again, people forget the college teams are in season, so there's only a limited amount of opportunity for that to happen, especially arms. If we have a guy that's throwing on a Tuesday,
and they're looking at all their kids playing them.
Right.
That's how they're recruiting now.
Exactly right. So that early, the early summer will be kind of crazy for everybody. I mean, we have that June 25th scout game, which I'm super excited about. We have a ton of schools already committed to doing it. We're still putting out those details. So there's so many different avenues to go down. But yeah, man, don't panic. You never panic because you're good. That's a big part of it, guys. Yeah. We always say it. Wayne Mazzoni
and grind, man.
Mike says it all the time. He always asks people what's something that you have to do to play college baseball? You gotta be really good.
Yep,
you gotta be really good.
Yeah.
And
I do remember that. I do. One of those speeches probably back in, I think it was 2017 or 2016 at Eisenhower.
Yeah.
It's one of the things you got to do. You got to be good, man.
Yeah,
that's it.
Can't sugarcoat that. And I'm learning too the days of you're making a phone call and saying, hey, I got a guy for you. Listen, take him. After the rosters are too full. You can't do that anymore. You got to be really good.
It's too much competition.
Yep, you got to be better than you had been in the past.
And that's why the work starts from a very young age.
Very young age, and that's why you implementing a little bit of routine for 11U, a very talented 11U club. I'm super excited about your squad, but it's also crazy we're talking about 11-year-olds, but they're here to work. You see the videos, they're here to work, and they're implementing really good habits, and you know what? That hard work should start early, so that way when you do get to a college and you have a setback or two, I mean, dude,
there's no stopping you, man.
Yeah, right.
It's second nature to you.
Yeah, it's just what's next. It's, hey, I'm in rehab. And I'll ask this as we sum this up. Did you have any doubts after this particular injury in your rehabs? Hey, do I even really want to do this anymore?
Kind of just when I was laying in a bed for 6 weeks in a knee brace, wasn't able to walk or use the bathroom by myself.
Right.
I was kind of down in the dumps about everything.
Everything, right.
And so there was obviously doubts going through PT if I would wake up the next day sore or something was hurting, where I would be like,
dream?
oh, yeah.
Was it a bad dream after all this?
Exactly. Am I doing this all for nothing? Am I grinding 3 days a week, waking up at 6 a.m. to go do PT just for me to go hurt it again and have it all be for nothing? So there were definitely those doubts, but the biggest thing that kept me going was I made it this far. I've put this much time and effort into it throughout my entire life, missing parties, vacations, you name it. You guys know how it goes.
Yeah.
So just
you didn't
doing
want an
my
injury
best.
To take you off the field.
Exactly.
I remember
doing
after
my
I
best
tore my
after all
ACL
that.
the second time, I was thinking about just hanging him up.
I really.
Yeah, but then my mom was like, Joey, do you really want an injury to stop you from playing?
That's a really just.
And I was like, no, I want to go out on my terms.
Yeah, that's a really just like
Yeah.
clean,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like really. I like that. I like that. Like.
Yeah.
Don't let the injury take you
No.
out when you can rehab. You can.
Yeah.
It again, it could be a grind. You could have setbacks and everything like that. But yeah, listen, it's unbelievable to see you back and healthy. I think we're all
rooting
beyond
for you,
excited
man.
to root for you. We'll have to take a Connecticut trip to actual New Haven.
Absolutely.
Maybe
See
we
some bat flips this spring.
we need a
I
bat.
hope
We,
so.
we might need a bat flip. We might need a bat flip.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We'll celebrate the bat.
pizza.
We'll celebrate a
I
bat
think I
flip
was going
downtown.
back to Toads, but hey, going back.
Yeah. So Nikki, it was unbelievable.
Thank you guys.
Coach Nick, episode 10, Whiz Kid, you're the man.
In the books.
Swedish Fish,
Double
down the
digits.
hatchet, baby.
Double
Down the
digits.
hatchet.
Double digits.